again, my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial just for you. And today we are going to be doing the Virus Stitch Poncho. Yes. Now, I have done over the years a number of Virus Stitch projects, and I have gotten some requests to do the poncho. So, we're going to do that today. And today we're going to be using Red Heart Super Saver Ombre. This is one of my favorites. The colorway is Sea Coral, and it is about 482 yards. It's a worsted weight. It is 100% acrylic, and no, this video is not sponsored, but as always, I like to let you know what it is that I use in case if you want to duplicate the results. So, I haven't made this project before, but I have done quite a bit of fiddling and finagling, especially where the neckline is concerned. Oh my, yes, a lot of trial and error, but I think I have hit upon a nice collar that is large enough to comfortably fit over your head, rest on your shoulders, and lay flat. Laying flat, that was the big trick, but I think I got it. So, today, we are going to be using a size 6mm hook. It's a size J. And I would say, excuse me, I would say that you could use any worsted weight of yarn that you want and a corresponding hook size based on your tension. You could, do, say, a weight of 3. I don't know if I would go smaller than that, but the number of chains that we're going to be starting off with is 104 chains. Yeah. So, that being said, let's get started. Alrighty, first things first with round 1. Alrighty, now I got my chain already set up. It is 104 chains. And we're going to be joining this to create one big ring because we're starting with the neckline and we're going to work our way down. So, going to start by making sure that our chain is not twisted and then do a slip stitch to join it. Got to be careful because if you do put a twist in this particular project, you are going to have a bit of a problem. This is not going to be a Mobius like I had done previously. So yeah, you want to make sure that there's no twist. And then we're going to turn this chain around facing us and slip stitch into that first chain, going underneath both of those little legs of the V there, and then going in to slip stitch. There we go. All right, so from here, let me just get my tail out of the way there. From here, we are going to start by chaining up 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then, now this counts as a double crochet and a chain 1 space. So from here, going to be skipping the next chain. So we worked into this one, skip that one, and then double crochet into the the third chain down there. So double crochet into there. And admittedly, this is perhaps the most fiddly aspect of the entire project. Okay, so we've got 2 doubles separated by a chain 1 space. Chain 1, skip a chain, double crochet into the next chain. And we're going to be doing this all the way around until we reach the beginning. And no, I'm not going to be doing all of these stitches on camera, but I will do a few. And frankly, I think this makes a really nice edge for the collar. It's lacy, it's light, and it goes with the rest of the pattern. So it's just chain 1, skip a stitch, going into the next stitch with a double crochet. And that's really all there is to it as far as round 1 is concerned. So I'm going to go all the way around, and I will meet back up with you for the finishing of round 1, and I will see you in a bit. All right, be right back. Okay, so I'm almost done with round 1. I just need to do one more of my chain 1s and another double crochet. Just gonna skip that one, double crochet into the next. There we go. Chain 1 and slip stitch to the third chain from the bottom of our first double crochet. There we go, slip stitch. And so at this point, you should have a total of 52 double crochets separated by chain 1 spaces. Also, be sure that there are no twists in your ring. You don't want to twist, so make sure that before you do that final slip stitch that there are in fact no twists, and then you'll be good to go for round 2. Let's get to it. All right, round 2. We're going to get right into the good stuffs. All right, so start off by chaining 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and skipping this first space, going into the next with a single crochet. So we've got a big loop. Now we need 3 small loops, which are going to be made with chain 4s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, skip a space, going into the next with a single, chain 4, skip a space, single in the next, and one more chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Skip a space, single in the next. So where we started with our chain 7, this is going to be the point in the back for the poncho, and midway on this loop we're going to be creating another point which is going to have 2 7 chain spaces, but we have to get there. So right now we are working, yes, speech, words are hard. We are working across one of the sides. So we've got 3 small chains. Now we need a large chain. So chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip a space, single in the next. Back to 3 small chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip a space, single in the next. Chain 4. Skip a space, single in the next. Chain 4. Skip a space, single in the next. So we have 1 large, 3 small. We need another large, 3 small, and then the point. So chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip a space, single in the next. Okay, so we've got another large one, so now we need 3 small loops. So chain 4, skip a space, single in the next, chain 4, skip a space, single in the next, chain 4, skip a space, single in the next. Okay, so quick recap. We have our starting one, then we've got 3 smalls and a large, 3 smalls and a large, 3 smalls. Now we need 2 large ones back to back. So chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip a space, single in the next. Chain 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip a space, single in the next. So that was our halfway point. Now, doing sort of a mirror image of what we had done, we need 3 small spaces. So chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. Okay, and we need one more. So chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. Okay, so now we need another large chain of 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip one, single in the next. Okay, now we need 3 small chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. Okay, so we've got the large one, 3 small ones. Now we need another large chain of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip and single. All right, excuse me, we are on the home stretch. So we just did our large one there. We need 3 small ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. And so we did our 3 small ones. Now chain 7 for the finish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now, skipping here, slip stitch into this space here. And then finish it off by slip stitching into this chain 7 space. I find that that works best. Alrighty, and that is the end of round 2. Now, because I know we're working with a fairly large circumference here, so we started with a chain 7, then we have the 3 smalls, 1 large, 3 smalls, 1 large, 3 smalls, 2 large, 3 smalls, 1 large, 3 smalls, 1 large, 3 smalls, and 1 large at the end. Now, ordinarily, when doing our large loops, we would be skipping over, a fair number of spaces, not just one space. But I have found that this works as far as keeping the collar flat. Okay, that's what I was referring to about the trial and error. Oh my, plenty of that going on, but I think I got it. So, with that being said, let us proceed on to round 3. All right, so round 3. For those of you that are familiar with the virus stitch and how it works, the rest of this project is going to be what they call a cakewalk. However, because I like to be thorough, yeah, I'm going to go through this step by step. So start off by chaining up 3. And that's going to count as our first double crochet in this chain 7 space. We need a total of 10, so let's do 9 more. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so 5 and 5, okay. And then directly from here into the chain 4 space, single crochet, chain 4, single crochet into the next chain space, chain 4 again, single crochet into the next chain 4 space, and into the chain 7 space, 10 double crochets. Now, I've said this probably a million times in other videos. Count. Be sure to double count. It only takes a second, and it will save you a lot of time and grief in the long run, from having to frog out stitches. Oh, it can be frustrating, I know. All right, so we've got 5 and 3. I need 2 more in this chain 7 space. There we are. So let's see, I've got my 5, and I've got my 5, and we can continue with a single crochet into the next chain 4 space, chain 4, single in the next space, chain 4, single in the next space, and into this chain 7 space, you guessed it, 10 doubles. Now, once you get going and you're comfortable with what we're doing, yeah, I mean, really, it's only a 4-round repeat. So it's really not that bad in the grand scheme of things. And once you get into it, you really don't have to pay too terribly much attention, with the exception of the round that we're currently working on. The 2 rounds after this are really quite simple. Okay, so we've got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, right? 5 and 5, good. Okay, single into the next space, chain 4, single into the next space, chain 4, single into the next chain space, and we have reached the 2 7 chains. Okay, so here we are going to be doing 10 double crochets in each of these chain spaces. So it is going to be ultimately a total of 20. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I love this yarn, but it loves to tangle on me. There we go. I think this is 8. 9, and this should be 10. Let's see. I've got my 5, and I've got my 5. Perfect. Okay, so then directly into the next chain 7 space, 10 more doubles. So I got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so I've got my 5 and 5. Pull out some more yarn, and I will be right back. Okay, so we did our 20, continuing right along, single crochet into the next chain space, chain 4, single in the next space, chain 4, single in the next space, and we have reached one of our chain 7 spaces, so 10 double crochets into there. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so I've got my 5 and my 5. Single crochet into the next chain space, chain 4, single into the next space, chain 4, single into the next space. There we go. And we reached another chain 7 space. So 10 doubles into that space. Okay, and this makes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so I've got my 5 and my 5. See, by making sure of our stitch count this round, the next round will go by a bit faster. So going to do a single into this chain space, chain 4, single into the next chain space, chain 4, single into the next chain space, And we have the last of our chain 7 spaces. We've come full circle. So 10 doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, right? 5 and 5. Perfect. Okay, so from here, all you need to do to finish up round 3 is slip stitch into the top 3rd chain of our first double crochet. Ta-da! All right, and there you go. That is the end of round 3. Okay, round 4. Round 4 is going to be a lot easier because technically you don't have to do any counting, which, yay! All right, so start off by chaining up 3. And then that does, of course, count as our first double crochet. Going into this next stitch here, going to be doing a double crochet and a double crochet into each of our previous double crochet stitches. So we're going to be starting off with a total of 10, and then when we come full circle, we'll get the second 10 for this side on the return pass. So I've already got 4. And so right now, it's really just a matter of following suit with the previous round's stitches, which means we really don't have to worry about it too terribly much. It doesn't hurt to double count, just for argument's sake. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, perfect. And then from here, single crochet into the chain 4 space, chain 4, single into the next chain 4 space, and proceed right along with our double crochets. Be careful not to do your first double crochet into that single crochet stitch. Looks can be deceiving. No, you want to go into the actual double crochet stitch. I have made the mistake plenty of times doing the virus stitch, so I like to let people know that it can be a bit of a pitfall. So I've already got 4. Now, actually, just last night, I was filming what I thought was going to be this tutorial. Yeah. I filmed about 2 hours worth of footage, and I realized, no, I'm not happy. And if I'm not happy, I can't imagine that you guys would be happy either. So let's see, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. So from here, single crochet into the next space, chain 4, and single crochet into the next chain space, and then proceed to do your doubles across, being sure not to go into that single, but into the actual first double. Yeah, so my initial idea for this was to do a chain, closed to make a ring, and then do a round of double crochets, no spaces in between. Do a round of double crochets and then start in. Yeah, no, that didn't work out very well. I mean, technically it worked, but it looked, oh, the collar stood straight up. The only way to not have it straight up is if you folded it back as if it were a cuff. Now, if you like that, more power to you. I personally, I didn't think it looked very becoming. So I thought, maybe I can fix this. So let's see, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. From here, single crochet into the chain space, chain 4, single crochet into the next chain space, and oh, we've reached our 20. So yeah, it's just going to be doing 20 double crochets all the way across. So skipping that first single crochet there, going into that double, and then doing 20 double crochets all the way across. So as I was saying, the double crochets for the collar, no, I really didn't think that it looked very nice. Then I thought, well, maybe I do single crochets instead right off the chain. Yeah, it worked, but again, the neckline, it stood up, and also there were too many chains, quite frankly. It was as if this edge here was trying to compete with the stitches that were coming out of it. And that is when I came up with the idea of, instead of doing 3 spaces, going from here to here, there were originally 3 of these spaces in between. What if, we just did 1 space? That significantly helped as far as the way that the collar lays down. Believe it or not. But yep, like I said, a lot of trial and error. Oh yeah. But hey, it is so worth it when it comes together, I think. So yeah, that was about, oh man, I want to say, let's see, 10 o'clock till about 5 o'clock. So about 7 hours of work, about 2 hours worth of footage. Yeah. Didn't quite pan out. But I am enjoying this all the more. All right. So let's see. We should have a total of 20 just to be on the safe side. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Perfect. All right. So from here, single crochet into the next chain, chain 4, single into the next, and double into each of these doubles. There we go. Also, the initial chain count that I was working with was about 90 chains. And instead of 2 eyelets in between the top and the bottom, like the 2 main increasing points, instead of 2 large eyelets, I only had 1 large eyelet. So yeah, I've made a number of changes in my original design plan for this project. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Good. And we are getting there. We're getting there. All right, so we have our 10 here. So do a single crochet into the chain space, chain 4, and single crochet into the next chain space, and then double crochet into each of these for a total of 10. And the next round is going to be just as easy as this round, I find. And then figure we'll do a part 2 of this tutorial to give you a full repeat of this project, so it's really nice and solid. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, perfect. And we're almost there. We're almost to the beginning. So from here, single into the chain 4 space, chain 4, single into the next chain 4 space, and then 10 doubles across. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and woo, 10, thank you. And then slip stitch into the top 3rd chain of our first double crochet. And there you go. That is the end of round 4. Alrighty, we're getting there. All right, round 5. So this is the last row of the 4-row repeat. So I'm going to start off by chaining up 4. Okay, and then going to double crochet into the next double crochet. So we've got 2 double crochets separated by a chain 1 space. Chain 1, double into the next double, chain 1, double into the next, chain 1, double into the next, and so on and so forth. Every time you run into double crochets, this is what you do for this particular round. You know, just chain 1 and double, chain 1 and double, until you have 10 double crochets. And then we get to bridge the gap between this grouping of 10 and the next grouping of 10. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Very good. Okay, from here, chain 1, and then skipping over this chain 4 space, going into that next double crochet. Again, be careful not to go into that single, go into the double with a double crochet. So we're scooting right over that chain 4 space with a chain 1. And from here, chain 1, double into the next, chain 1, double into the next, and so on and so forth. So, like I said previously, if you initially did your 10 double crochets and you counted them and you made sure that there were in fact 10, then the next 2 rounds, rounds 4 and 5, are really quite simple because you are just going based off of pre-existing stitches, and you're more or less following suit with them. So it's really not that bad once you have a general understanding of what we're doing and why we're doing it, then it's really not that bad. Okay, so we should be there. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. Very good. Chain 1, scooting over this chain 4 space into that first double with a double. and chain 1, and double into the next, chain 1, double in the next, and so forth. And actually, it was this row that inspired me to do the collar edge so that it looks synonymous and that it fits in with the rest of the project. You know, that it has sort of a homogeny to it and that it belongs, if you will. Now, of course, if you have an alternative means of doing the collar, hey, you know what? Go right ahead. I am not one to stifle creativity or thinking outside of the box. More power to you, I say. Have fun with it. It's the whole point, right? All right, so just a few of these more, and then we get to bridge another gap. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. So chain 1, skipping over the chain 4 space, going into that next double with a double. Chain 1 and double. Chain 1 and double. Alrighty. Did my chain 1, double in the next. And so on and so forth. Oh, you know what? I didn't even realize we're at our 20s already. We're already at the halfway point. That's cool. And yeah, so I think that after we finish this round, we will take pause, and then I will do a video on a full repeat. And that should get you well on your way, because with the repeat, you're going to be essentially doing the same thing over and over again, those 4 rounds, until your piece is big enough. That's one of the nice things about this project, is that yes, you just keep going and going and going, and then you can make it as large as you want it to be, or as small as you want it to be, either or. You might want it to be more of like a ponchette, if you will. I don't know. Is that a word? Is ponchette a word? I know that capelet and shawlette are words, but is ponchette a word? Good question. I don't know the answer. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Perfect. We are getting there. Chain 1, scooting over the chain 4 space. Double into that next double. And so forth. Also, the other day, I was searching at my local Walmart, and I was specifically looking for this particular colorway of this particular yarn. And when I saw it, I'm like, ooh, ooh. It was like a little owl. And I was so excited because this is the colorway that I envisioned for this project, actually. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Groovy. All right, so we're almost done with the round. All right, so I just need to chain 1, and then we can bridge over that chain 4 space. So skip, and then going into that first double with a double, chain 1, double in the next, and so forth. Yeah, ombres I think work really well with a lot of projects because it doesn't create too much of a delineation in color. And I think that others might work nicely too, like Lion Brand's mandala. I think that would be nice. But I wouldn't use one that is particularly choppy with the variegation. Otherwise, you end up losing this beautiful stitch work pattern that we're doing. So solid colors always work too. Always, always. But sometimes it's nice to have fun with an ombre. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Good. Home stretch. Home stretch. Chain 1. Skipping over the chain 4. Going to the next double with a double. And chain 1. Double in the next. Chain 1. Double in the next. Until we reach the beginning, which we are almost at. Looks like the yarn is starting to change color on me again. Yep. And it's not too stark either. Usually it has a very nice flow to it. And that's why I keep coming back to this yarn. It's definitely one of my favorites. Okie dokie. Almost, almost. Hey. Oh, come on now. I'm in the home stretch. Don't embarrass me. There we go. And double count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. And then finishing up round 5 by chaining 1 and slip stitching to the top 3rd chain. There we go. All right, so that is the end of round 5. Alrighty, we've got ourselves an aerial shot here. All right, so that is going to conclude part 1 of our tutorial of the virus poncho. Absolutely loving how this is coming out, and I hope that you guys are enjoying this as well. And if you are, please give a little thumbs up button down below. You know I appreciate your appreciation, and stay tuned because part 2 is going to go into a full repeat, and we will get on our way. So, until next time, you know what to do, right? I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, and please stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now, everybody, and have a great day.